In BookIt, we trust. Welcome to Book It Wrestling Podcast for the fans, by the fans, where we book, rebook, and revisit your favorite wrestling storylines. I'm your commissioner, LilXFudge, and today we are here with your GMs, Damone D Money,
You, the people.
the bad guy Kenny,
Oh yeah!
ooh, and the seventh return of Hi-Fi Mike.
Party on, Garth.
Um, so despite trials and tribulations the Book It cast may face, we're going to be continuing on through Book It Verse 5 and giving you that Book It Verse content you all love and enjoy. Last week, we wrapped up with D Money's Book It Verse when he finished up Death Sentence. I did not forget this time. And tonight, it somehow gets worse. Because
I'm in the lead, so it
he's
can
in the
only
lead.
get worse.
Yeah, it's about to get so much worse because the bottom two booker, LilXFudge, is coming back on the Book of Verse, and I've got some shit for y'all tonight. So it is my turn, and it's all going to be in one show. It won't be a two-parter. So next week we'll be moving on to something else. The ratings that you hear tonight will not be the final accumulation of scores. MJOF and Primetime Travie T had some real life things come up, and they will be doing their ratings as the episode releases later this week. And we will get you the final scores as we start next week. So send your best wishes to Primetime Travie T, Fuck Joe, and
Send them all your worst wishes.
And we will get on started.
0.5.
So I know that why am I making Damone big? Don't curse my show.
I would improve your show. I don't know what you're talking about.
But as these guys remember, and maybe our listening audience does not, I said at the end of Book It Verse 3 2 years ago that I was going to finish those stories. And I was not bullshitting you. I am back a couple years later to finish those stories. So we're picking back up in the Big Baller Wrestling BBW verse.
You know what the Book It boys are known for? Great memories.
We're returning to the Baller verse.
I don't remember my Book at Verse 3. Man,
But
I won that one.
I'm not going to do this to y'all without a recap. So if you're listening now and you want like full context of where we are, go back to Book It Verse 3, listen through, enjoy yourself. But if not, I'm here for you and I'll help you out. So we're picking back up where I left off 2 years ago. So we are picking up in Big Baller Wrestling, a company ran by LeVar Ball, the general manager, and benefactored by Mark Cuban, the owner. We left off with a weekly Malice, Monday Night Malice is their weekly show, following Final Destination, which is effectively their WrestleMania. This time ended with the Big Boogie Housen, consisting of Danhausen, Boogeyman, and Indy's Big Show, losing their trios titles in Lethal Lockdown to the Silver Screen, consisting of The Miz and the Bollywood Boys. Also in the match was the Model Citizens, which was the American Dreamboat, Cody Rhodes, and Pretty Deadly. Big Show left the Big Boogie Housen after losing the match. Jesus Christ, I am Titus O'Neil.
You said big bosom or some shit.
But after losing that match, Big Show leaves the group and says he's going back to the Indies, telling them not to follow, while Danhausen said that him and the Boogeyman must depart to the West Indies to find the Big Show. Speaking of the trio's titles, the Silver Screen got challenged by the Model Citizens to a best-of-7 series in which the Model Citizens won match 1, where we left off. So they're up 1-0 in the series. Among other trios that had problems during this time, the New Day split up as Kofi Kingston couldn't handle the silliness of the act and turned on the other two after an embarrassing loss. In the women's division, Io Sky made her debut at Final Destination in victory, and then won her first match on Malice on the very last show I booked, before calling out women's champion Britt Baker of the Private Practice, a trio she shares with Dr. Wagner Jr. and Dr. Stevie. The two mid-card championships were unified in a ladder match where the Iron Sheik defeated LilXFudge due to interference from the Daivaris, who were told if they interfered, they would be fired. A deadly, year-long feud between Owen Hart and Eddie Guerrero came to a close inside and outside of Hell in a Cell. What started as bickering over a number one contender match turned into a broken friendship and a broken body as Owen pile drove Eddie through the top gap of the cell. Eddie has not been seen or heard from since. Lastly, Mustafa Ali did the impossible at Final Destination, ending MJF's reign of terror and becoming BBW World Champion. He went on Malice and pivoted to a shoot about change after he's gone and announced the first ever Wrestlers Union. Before that could be celebrated, Brian Cage and his manager, Simon Dean, ridiculed him and his efforts before making the challenge for the belt. So that's just all stuff that already happened. That's the recap to freshen your minds. So,
I remember us hating the union because you could have just given your people rights.
Well, I want to make content out of it, so fuck y'all. Y'all know, especially Kenny with 37 shows, that everything got to be content.
So none of that was build. You're just telling us the backstory.
That's the backstory, yeah.
Look,
yeah, that's
not gonna bode well for you. But let's go.
That was just a fucking recap. Now this is our first segment that's up for grades. So before any commentary, fireworks, music, or wrestling, the show opens with Danhausen and the Boogeyman in their janitor's closet office. Danhausen hangs up his old school spin dial telephone and says, "He has not answered any of my 247 calls. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem." If I Could Turn Back Time by Cher starts playing in the background as he says, "If only I could go back in time and fix my mistakes, or go to the West Indies and find him." The Boogeyman taps him on the shoulder and points to what looks like jumbled together car parts with an antenna and a mini solar panel attached. Danhausen oohs and ahs before asking, "Have you finished it? The time machine? Sustainably powered to combat climate deregulation too? We have achieved a scientific milestone. We must now go and find our wrestling partner." He pulls a string that is like that of a lawnmower and yells, "Take me to the West Indies." A light imbues and bursts until you see them wake up on a boat. Danhausen scratches his head and says, "Drats, I don't see a ring or fans, nor hot dogs or handshakes. This can't be the West Indies." They are interrupted by someone yelling Nativi, which is Ligurian of the time for natives. They look up and see Christopher Columbus and his men surrounding them. Danhausen asks, "Sir, have you seen the Big Show? A man out yay tall and yay wide?" Before having swords pointed at them. Danhausen and Boogeyman fight them off successfully and disarm them all, throwing them overboard, with Columbus being Hurricane Ron'd off the boat by Danhausen.
I was gonna say, you better get Boogeyman off of there. That don't bode well for him.
They then run below deck, pull the string on the time machine, and end up back in the janitor's closet. Danhausen says, "Ooh, that was close. Maybe if we win tonight, the Big Show will come back to us." And it cuts off that segment, and then BBW Fall In now officially begins with Tweaker by Jello playing and the pyro going off. BBW's brand new commentary team of Joey Styles and Chad Ochocinco open the show, with Joey Styles saying, "Glad to be here in Minneapolis. I'm Joey Styles, and tonight we continue to usher in a new era of big baller wrestling, the Mustafa Ali era. I'm joined today by football legend and podcast treasure, Chad Ochocinco." Chad says, "This card is stacked, and I got DoorDash on the way. I'm having the time of my life already." Joey says, "Well, as a sports analyst, I know you've covered many NBA playoff series, but we kicked this show off with Game 7, the Silver Screen versus the Model Citizen for the BBW Trios Championships." And that's where I'll cut that off before I go into the first match.
Okay.
So the first match is a different match?
Yeah, that was like a standalone segment. Like it went from like that scene beforehand with the Boogeyman and them to like
it was like
Styles
a
and them and like the
skit.
pyro and the show opener.
I'm gonna give it a 4. Like it was funny. Like not like I don't know. It was funny, but it didn't add that much to it. Like it gave like I get what you were going for and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay.
I didn't love as much as he did. I'm just a solid 3. So that's where I'm at with it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't add much to it. I'm also at a 3.
All right.
All right. All right.
So
All
let's
right.
go into the build for that match. So the Model Citizens went up 1-0 in the series last week. Cody Rhodes and The Miz start the match the next week in match 2. Cody spends too long taunting after the bell rings. Pretty Deadly are trying to warn him that The Miz is gearing up for a skull-crushing finale behind him. After doing the Stardust pose as a joke, The Miz immediately just rolls him up for a surprise 3 count. Cody is astounded, and while The Miz celebrates at ringside, Cody gets a mic and says, "Where's that referee? We're going to have another match right now. Get back in the ring, Miz." And the bell rings for match 3, and Cody immediately tags in Kit Wilson and is yelling at them for not warning him or breaking up the pin. Cody and Elton are surprised by the Bollywood boys running around the ring and pulling them off the apron, and a distracted Kit Wilson is hit with a skull-crushing finale and pinned, putting the silver screen up 2-1. Cody gets in the ring and starts to attack Kit, picking him up by his hair. Elton Prince steps in and shoves Cody off. Cody then screams, "I quit," before storming out of the ring. The next week, the Model Citizens are down 2-1 in the series and now down 3-2 in manpower. Kit Wilson and Elton Prince are backstage getting ready. Kit says, "Is this it? Are we done? Should we just forfeit? There's no way we beat them in 3 handicap matches." Elton says, "No way we just quit. Do you think Britney Spears quit? Do you think Justin Bieber quit? Do you think Bridget Fonda quit? Win or lose, we're going to go out there, we're going to strut with confidence, and we're going to fight until we're unconscious or until our cuticles get damaged. Now get your proportionate posterior up, and let's get back in this." Right afterwards, it shows the silver screen in their locker room. Miz says, "We've won not once, but twice this week. This series is over. 2 more wins tonight and next week. 3-on-2. We won't even be forced to work the pay-per-view. We could skip All In and go to the red carpet premiere, or maybe go film a commercial. That one medicine company has been needing someone who talks fast enough to list the side effects. Let's go take this series and these belts home." So that night, the silver screen faced Pretty Deadly 3-on-2, and despite a valiant effort, the numbers game is just too much, and the silver screen go up 3-1. After the match, The Miz gets on a mic and says, "I almost feel bad for you guys. This has got to be sad to watch and humiliating for the two of you. Getting beat, getting abandoned, and getting beat again. Good news for you. Get bored in this ring because this comes too easy. I feel the commentary desk calling my name. Next week, the Bollywood boys will close this series 2-on-2, while the TV audience is serenaded by my friendly but marketable voice. You're welcome." So week 3, the next week, that tag team match takes place. Miz is expecting a squash on commentary and gloating about the silver screen's 3-1 lead. However, the Bollywood boys and Pretty Deadly prove evenly matched, with Pretty Deadly wrestling with urgency, holding the advantage. The Miz leaves the commentary desk and hops on the apron as Pretty Deadly attempts spilt milk on Samir Singh. Samir grabs Miz's hand so he can't be slammed down. Upon release, the Bollywood boys also attempt stereo super kicks on Kit, who ducks, causing the Bollywood boys to kick the Miz off the apron. Off the shocked reaction, they toss Sunil Singh out of the ring, and it hit spilt milk on Samir to extend the series, still down 3-2. The Miz is seen berating the Bollywood boys as they walk backstage. He's yelling, "You had one job, and I trusted you. I can't take one night off, can I? If you don't close the series, you're not getting that Red Baron pizza commercial. Get your asses back to the dressing room and clean yourselves. You stink." The final week before Ball In, the Bollywood boys and the Miz are backstage. Sunil Singh says, "Miz, I know we let you down last week, and we appreciate everything you've set up for us. You've made us bigger stars than we could ever dream of. Thank you, Miz." Samir Singh continues, "We appreciate you and we need you. Your leadership will guide us through the final match of this series. Please wrestle beside us tonight." Miz yells at the Bollywood boys. You know what was really great about being at the commentary desk? Joey Styles and Ocho Cinco actually do their job. Joey Styles is a dork, but I don't have to, oh my God, for him. You better not choke tonight. Only Tag me in if you can't do it yourself. Right before the match, Pretty Deadly is in Gorilla. Elton says, 3-on-2 again. This could be it. Kit says, Kylie Jenner didn't quit. If we lose, we're going to serve bleep while we do it. Saying they're going to serve cunt, but they can't say that on TV. The match takes place and the Bollywood boys have control. However, The Miz is prematurely yelling at them to finish the match and then being upset when Pretty Deadly kicks out of pin attempts. Sunil is going up top for a diving leg drop, but The Miz tags himself in and goes for a skull-crushing finale, but Kit Wilson gets him in a victory roll. Sunil tries to leg drop to break up the pin, but Kit moves the victory roll away, causing Sunil to miss, and Kit pins Miz. The series is now tied 3-3 and going to Ball in. So the attires before the match, the Bollywood boys are in the back getting ready with new black and rose gold shiny attires. Samir calls Miz to say, Miz, we got the coolest gear made. There's no way we lose in this. They'll be so impressed by our gear, they'll immediately tap out. Oh, you have your own attire? Oh, well, we'll see at the ring, I guess. And when the Bollywood boys make their entrance, the Miz comes out behind them, wearing a suit and walks his way to the commentary desk. Kit and Elton have a moment backstage before the match as well. Kit says, did we ever think about getting a new third? We don't know if we're facing 2 or 3 tonight. Plus, if we actually pull this off, who holds the third belt? Elton says, don't you worry. I've made some calls myself. Pretty Deadly comes out wearing blue and neon green like the Timberwolves alternative jerseys. So the match begins with Samir Singh and Kit Wilson in the ring. The Bollywood boys are facing out of the ring, still asking The Miz to join them. The Miz says on commentary, focus on what's inside the ring. Maybe if you did that more, I would want to wrestle with you. But then that gets cut off by Kit drop kicking Samir into Sunil, who goes crashing onto the announce table. On the outside, Elton prints. It's a backdrop on Sunil onto the announce table, and then backdrops him onto the apron. Kit Wilson hits a twist of fate neckbreaker onto Samir for a close 2 count off the distraction. Kit goes for a stinger splash in the corner, but Samir moves out of the way, tags Sunil, who front drop kicks Kit into a Russian leg sweep from Samir. Sunil slams Kit into the Tree of Woe. The Bollywood boys take turns tagging and hitting drop kicks in the corner before taunting for a massive boo. The Miz yells at them for taunting and tells them to finish the damn match. Kit rolls to the apron, but Samir leg drops him on there, like Undertaker style, leg drop on the apron, while Sunil distracts the ref. Sunil drags Kit to the center of the ring and locks in a sharpshooter. The crowd claps Kit back into the match, and he pulls himself to a rope. Sunil goes for a clothesline, but Kit reverses with an STO before diving for a hot tag, while Sunil tags in Samir. Elton comes in, knocking down both Bollywood boys with clotheslines. He clotheslines Samir out of the ring to the apron, hops to the second rope, and clotheslines him down. Samir tries to attack Elton from behind, but gets reversed into 10 head smashes in the corner, and then sets him up from the top rope for a superplex. When Elton tries to execute the superplex, Sunil holds Samir's feet so he does not leave the turnbuckle, and Elton falls backward onto his back from the top rope. Samir taunts, Sunil tags himself in, Samir hits a diving elbow from the top, and Sunil follows up with another. They go for the pin, 1, 2, Kit Wilson's able to make the save. Kit then spears Samir and suplexes Sunil into a powerbomb from Elton Prince. They exchange a tag and hit spilt milk for Kit to get the 1, 2, 3. The Miz storms away from the commentary table and doesn't even acknowledge the Bollywood boys. So Kit and Elton hold up their 2 titles and lay the third one down in the middle of the ring. The lights go out and they hear, "Look, everybody, it's Tyler!" Tyler Breeze walks down in the ring. Kit and Elton step back in awe, but as Tyler goes to grab the belt, the lights go out again, and pretty Peter Avalon makes his way to the ring and gets in Tyler Breeze's face. Tyler then points to his jaw and starts mewing. Peter clenches his jaw and starts mewing back as they face off trying to mog one another.
Okay, wait. I don't know what any of these words mean that you're saying.
Translation: mewing is like when you try to like clench your jaw and make it look like you got like a jawline like that. Mogging is trying to outshine one another. So they're having like a mew off and trying to like show off Elton and Kit get between
There's
them and try
only
to
one
defuse the
Mew in my
situation
life, and he's
before
the
going
151st
backstage.
Pokemon.
He said mewing, one's mawing, one's mooing. I'm like, I don't know what is going on.
It's mewing
They're
and
all
mogging,
cows.
actually.
So, John, I was gonna give you like a 3.25 because the story is okay. I don't love the story. I don't hate it, but I'm not like super invested. Plus, like I get what you did with having Cody turn on them, which kind of turned pretty deadly into baby faces. But like I said, I'm not super in love with the story. It's okay. The match itself was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. I hate the end. I hate the mewing, and I would
yeah,
have
that
just
was
rather
awful.
that.
I didn't know that was
Like
the
I
end.
would.
was
I
really
don't give a
mad
shit
at it.
about Peter Avalon in real life or in BookIt. I have no reason to as of yet. So I would have been super excited to see Tyler Breeze, but then this guy comes out and is like, "Yep, you ruined it." And then they start mewing and
Well,
mooging
they're
and
gonna
You
chugging
don't need the
and
mewing.
they
chucking
gotta
and
fight for
jiving.
custody. They gotta fight for custody of them. You know what I'm saying?
No.
They're chucking and jiving. They're whatever they're doing. I'm gonna give it a 2.75.
That's gracious, because all that you said, but I hated it more than you did. I'm at 1.5.
All
I
right.
hated that ending. That ending was absolute dog shit.
It's literally just because I said like Gen Z words y'all don't get.
No, it was. I would hate it if it happened in real life. It has nothing to do with the words.
I know the words because of you.
I would have been like, what are they doing?
Right.
Yeah, it would have been like, this is terrible.
Yeah,
They're just hitting the blue steel look from Zoolander the whole time.
that's
Yeah.
on Peacock right now, I think.
Such a dumb movie.
Paramount. It's on Paramount.
I'm deciding. I'm fighting between two scores.
And
I'll let you
neither
know
of them are
now.
good.
Neither one are good. I will say, okay, I'll say this. I hated the story. Like I hated the story, but I really liked the match though. I did really like the match, and then you ruined it with the end. I'm just like, so I'm trying to figure out if I want to be evil or be the good guy today.
You're the bad guy.
Right.
You already wasted your zero.
I'll go with the. Damn, I did waste my zero already.
What did you give the 0? Oh, to Joe.
Joe, when he had
I'm
fucking
saving
Giant
my zero.
Gonzalez come out. Okay. I'll go with a solid 2. I'll go with the good guy answer. I'll go with the 2.
What
I
was
was
the
fighting
bad
between-
guy answer?
It was gonna be a 1.5. Like I was-
Maybe
Well,
the bad
But
guy.
because I really liked the match, so that 2 was coming just from the match. Because I really liked that, but I hated the end, and I did not like the story.
All right. Well, that certainly happened. Let's move on. After the ring clears, General Manager LeVar Ball comes out and says, "How y'all liking Ball in so far?"
We are.
Just kidding.
Well, it's only getting crazier from here. Tonight, I unveil my brand new, original, never done before match type. Feast or Fire. There are 4 briefcases hung up in the corner. 3 of them.
I thought he was
contain
about to
title shots.
debut a shoe. I was about to be. It's really John.
Get some triple baller, some big baller brand shoes.
There are 4 briefcases
Boo.
hung up in each corner. 3 of them contain title shots that could be used at any time for either the world title, the next up championship, and the trios title. The 4th is a termination notice. To secure the briefcase, you must leave the ring and have both feet touch the floor. 18 wrestlers, men and women, have been announced and will make their way to the ring now. 3 are surprises, even to me. May the games begin. So Spike Dudley, Boogeyman and Danhausen, Owen Hart, Austin, Colton and Billy Gunn, Kip Sabian, Penelope Ford, Monty Brown, Casey Navarro, Cedric Alexander, Gigi Dolan, Beth Phoenix, Billy Kay, Roxanne Perez, Ash by Elegance, and Tasha Steeles make their way to the ring.
The 3 surprises are just the ball boys.
The next song you hear is "It's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour, put in the work, put in the hours." And
It's both a
The
rock.
Rock is standing outside the ring with a microphone.
Damn
He
it.
raises the eyebrow and says, what the Sigma? But before he can continue, Natural Born Killers plays
Why
and New
did you
Jack
do
enters and
this?
rolls down a shopping cart um, at the Rock. But as he stops it, New Jack throws a basketball at his head and it bounces into the crowd. New Jack points to the stage and Nas Reed comes out and runs to the ring with him to begin the match. Um, So New Jack and Nas Reed slide the Rock into the ring and start tossing weapons to everyone. And everybody makes a circle around the Rock and hit him in the head with a chair, a trash can lid, a broom, a kendo stick, a frying pan, an iPad. And lastly, New Jack is standing on the top rope, holding a basketball rim over the Rock's head. Nas Reed jumps up and slams it down onto him. While everyone is beating down the Rock, Owen Hart sneaks out of the ring. He still has tape around his ribs and is visibly hurting from Hell in a Cell. He pulls Casey Navarro down by his ankle and pulls him outside the ring, punching him repeatedly. Casey runs away around the ring until Owen is stopped by a pounce over the barricade by Monty Brown. Navarro is making his Wojak like face while jumping up and down. He extends the dap up to Monty Brown, but Monty Brown ignores him and gets in the ring. The Guns work together to clear the ring with a team of 3. Billy military presses Spike Dudley out into the crowd at Owen Hart as he's getting up. Danhausen riles up an Ass Boys chant from outside the ring. Instead of getting mad, the Guns lean into it. Colton gets a mic and says, "You know what? Play it." And then Ass Man starts playing from the speakers as they do the ass shake taunt together. Billy surprises his sons by putting them a playful double headlock, but they reverse it with a backdrop. Uh, the cheers are quickly stifled as Kip Sabian hits a super badasser, a diving fameasser, on Colton. Austin gets knocked down with a diving moonsault by Penelope Ford. She's keeping lookout while Kip goes for a case, but gets hit with a brain rot bottom by the Rock. Kip gets one too. The Rock quickly climbs up and finishes unhooking the case before running away from the crowd coming into the ring. The Rock sneaks off with case number 3. Beth Phoenix is overpowering the women in the match, hitting them all with glam slams. Casey Navarro runs up and tries to stop her, but gets lifted up, screams, "Put me down, put me down, put me down," before getting planted on the mat by Beth Phoenix. Ash by Elegance jumps into the arms of Nas Reed to avoid Beth Phoenix. She flirtatiously touches his beard, and he lifts her up out of Beth Phoenix's reach. And as he does this, Ash by Elegance starts unhooking a case. She gets it down, holds it to her chest, and hits a rarefied air off of Nas Reed's shoulders onto the crowd of women and Casey Navarro, and then rolls out of the ring to secure case number 2. Owen Hart sneaks in and hits Casey Navarro with a steel chair before hitting him with a pile driver. He then starts walking toward the case in the corner, but where Casey is, but Monty Brown pounces him again before extending the hand out to Casey Navarro. Danhausen sneaks in the ring and front drop kicks Cedric Alexander in the corner. Boogeyman stinger splashes, and then Danhausen cannonballs. Roxanne throws a baking sheet at Danhausen as he climbs up and then hits a modified pop rocks, taking him down from the second rope. Boogeyman immediately picks her up and power slams her, shocking the crowd with his aggression. Owen sets up a chair behind Spike as Spike climbs up for a case, gets underneath him to set up for a power bomb, and chucks him seated into the chair. Owen uses the chair to fight off everyone approaching the apron. Gigi Dolin rushes in, headbutts Owen, leg kicks him down to a knee, and tries to set up for a Gigi driver, but gets out-wrestled, and Owen hoists her up for a pile driver of his own. Joey Styles is screaming, "Don't do it! Don't do it!" on commentary before he drives her down head first. He climbs up and grabs case number 4 as the crowd rains boos on. With one last briefcase left, everyone starts brawling in the middle of the ring. New Jack gets out a staple gun and starts getting everyone with it. Colton Gunn runs in to stop him, confusing him with a crossover neckbreaker. Austin and Billy are cheering him from the ground. Colton hits his finisher, Colt 45, the double underhook twisting DDT. Colton grabs the case as the crowd cheers, but before he can leave the ring, Austin Gunn grabs the briefcase from him and slides to the outside, giving him case number 1 and finishing the match. Colton is furious, but Billy shrugs it off and points to the brain, saying that Austin outsmarted him. LeVar Ball comes out and says, "Now, we got to find out who's feasting and who's fired. Austin Gunn, open up case number 1. It is revealed that Austin Gunn has a shot at the next up, which is the mid card title. Ash by Elegance reveal case number 2. It is revealed that Ash by Elegance has a shot at the Trios Championship. The Rock open case number 3. The Rock opens the case, and he is fired. The Rock falls to his knees and starts crying, having to be escorted by security. And this means, Owen Hart, you have a world championship match. And that will end that match.
Earlier, when in the chat you said you had something for everyone. Who was the everyone? Did you think that we were gonna praise you for firing Bofa Rock? Is that what you thought? It wasn't. The Rock wasn't the problem.
No, the Rock is part of the problem.
It was also part of, I mean, The Rock didn't say those words. John said those words.
I think this is your way because I get Rock after this. That was your way of taking him off your show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't hate it.
I was trying to send him out in like a funny way. Like I teased him doing the promo and then like made him not get to talk because everybody just hit him with weapons.
Yeah, and then he got fired. So the guy we all hate gets fired at the end.
And he gets like 10 weapon spots done on him.
And then he becomes Curry Man.
Yeah, could have let somebody else draft him.
All right. Are you going to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So minus the Rock stuff and not liking the Rock stuff, I actually like this match for the most part. I think you had some fun spots. Some fun, like I get what you were doing with the Rock, having him get like the classic like heel everyone hates, like a Grayson Waller, like gets beat up by all the legends or gets beat up by like everyone in the ring in a comedic way, like they all hit their finisher on him, that sort of thing. So I get where you were going with it there. I get why you fired the Rock, obviously for logistical reasons, but also like he's the one we would want to see get fired. I honestly wish you reversed the rep because it got revealed first that the Rock was the one fired, and then obviously Owens getting the championship.
Yeah,
I wish you reversed that order. I wish you did like they open the briefcase at the same time, sort of thing, or like Owen opens his first, and then the Rock is just standing there looking dumb, like freaking out because obviously it means he's fired. But I'm not gonna take off really for that. I'm gonna give you a 4. I enjoyed this for the most part, and I'm glad you don't have Bofa Rock anymore.
Yeah, we're not doing Bofa Rock on my brand. Just letting you know that now.
You got one
Stigma Rock.
So my question is, when you have Bofa Rock, is he like what version? Like, how does he look? Is he bald?
He's bald. He looks like he did in like all the memes.
So he's now Rock.
Like it's more.
So he's like jacked.
Yeah.
Because that was my thing. I was gonna say if he at least was like smaller, I'd be like, okay, but he's the biggest guy in this match. Like everybody else is tiny. And
Nas Reed's tiny. New Jack's tiny.
I mean, compared to the
I
Rock,
didn't like Nas
Reed.
yeah, I didn't like Nas Reed on that. I was gonna get to that part, but I just wanted to know how he looked compared to everybody else because he's the only one that looks. You know what I'm saying? Like he looks huge compared to everybody else in this match.
Well,
he just
did
beat
get
him
a
down.
briefcase after all.
Wait, what was the build?
There really wasn't a build.
Okay, Damone, you cannot go higher than a 3.5, motherfucker. There was no build.
The build is the match. It's feast or fire.
Bullshit! Bullshit! No, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah,
There was no fucking build.
Mike, if you hate him,
You're
I
going back on
definitely-
your own
coins.
fucking word. He cannot
Give me
go
his
higher
coins,
than a
Mike.
3.5.
Give me his coins, Mike, if you hate him so much.
Mike, I give you a 4.5 on your show. Shut your bitch ass up.
Yeah, I at least put some fucking builds in some of that, even if it was little. There
The
was
build
no
is the
build.
match
The
type.
match is not the build. That is the,
Yes,
that
it is. It's
that's
feast or-
everything
feast
you
or
ever fucking
fire.
said.
It's
Every
feast or
other
fire. The
title
whole
was
build
set
is
up to be
around
featured.
who's gonna get which briefcase, who
That's
gets the
not-
championship.
That's
Who gets the
not
championship?
a build. That's a match type. That is not a build.
That's
You are
part
going
of
back on
the
everything
story.
you've ever said about
If
how
you're
you
watching
can't
this,
go
drop
higher
a
than
comment and see if it's a
3.5.
That's the story.
That is
Build
not the story. That is not the fucking story. That is not a build. We've gone
The
over
story-
this. That is not a
the
build.
The story, build, whatever you want to call it, is centered around feast or fired.
There
Someone's
was nothing
getting each
centered around it.
briefcase.
Hey, at least
Yes,
I'm
the
not the only one
center is
suffering
feast or
anymore.
fire. Who's getting what briefcases?
That's the
Who got-
match. That's not a build.
We're emoting.
Well, anyway, John, you know what? I'm about to give John an extra quarter.
All right, then I'll give
Yeah.
him
Just
0.5. I'll have to even it out.
I'll give him my 5.5.
Then I'll give him a 0.
I would love for like Travis to see a score sheet, see me get a 550 to 0 on the same match.
That'd be insane. So
That'd
wait,
be
Damone, are
wild.
you really going to a 4.2?
No, I'm keeping that at a 4.
Give it a 4. Okay, Mike, what do
Yeah.
you have it at?
I thought this was a clusterfuck. There was no story. There was no build. There wasn't. I don't care what Damone says. There was no fucking build. The match type is not the build.
Build story, whatever.
No, it's not. It's not the
Universal.
same thing. It's not the same thing, Damone. This is not a build or a story. That's not what this is. That is.
I guess
this is
you
the
don't.
antithesis of
If you were
everything
gonna
we've
do
done
a
in
build,
Bookiverse.
if you were gonna do more of a
What's the
build, it would
build
have
Royal
to be.
Rumble? What's the
Yeah,
build
it's
to a Royal
essentially
Rumble,
his
Mike?
Royal Rumble. Like the Royal Rumble doesn't really have necessarily a
All right,
build.
then you can't
It's-
give a Royal Rumble
four
over
other
a
title
3.5. It's not. A,
But
it's
to be,
not a
I was gonna
build.
say, to be fair,
You
that
can
I
have
had that
builds.
same thing, had the same problem too. I got nicked for not having a build
Right.
on my Royal Rumble.
No, I think
You
it was
can
because you
have
skipped
builds
like
going
I
into
think it's
Royal
because you
Rumble.
skipped a large part of the Rumble. So I think you like started at the beginning and then jumped all the way to the end. And that's
Oh no,
the issue,
no!
I think.
I did every elimination. I
Did
it.
you? I don't remember.
You
It's
can
been
have a
however
build going
long.
into a Rumble or something like that.
You
could either
can,
have
but
been
usually-
there could have even been one fucking storyline that started in the beginning that somehow gets explained and goes into this, or in this case, could have been 3 or 4. There could
Well,
have
here's
been
the thing,
some-
Mike.
and that way
My
we
score is
also
my
care-
score. Fuck you.
And that way we also care about whoever's getting the world title shot and all these
Right.
different things. So I agree with Mike 100% on this. So the story, because that's my thing. The story wasn't there. There was no story. And then the actual match, there was some decent moments in the match. So I'm not gonna play you like that. Like there was some decent moments in the match. Here, like both Rock being there is like, but I get you wanted to hurt him for our benefit.
Right.
And you fired him too, so he just was going through it.
Yeah, show
But-
up to whatever company you own now. Sad.
But
Sad
it's just-
Rock.
but it's just one of those things where
Rock bottom rock.
the match wasn't good enough to be like, I got to give this a good rating because, again, there's no story. So it was a okay match with somebody I didn't like in it. I couldn't really care for anybody either because I have no reason to care for anybody in this storyline or lack of a storyline. So I'm going to give you a 1, just a straight up 1. I wanted to go higher, but I just realistically couldn't do that with nothing to go off of. Like that, the same way I did Joe. It's the same thing here. I gotta nick you for that. And you know better. He didn't.
If you're gonna do a match like this, that it's gonna be like that, you could have probably waited an entire show, an entire pay-per-view, and did some setup this week to follow in next week. If you were gonna do something, because there was no story, I know Damone just doesn't like being called out for his bullshit, and that's why he's sticking to his guns.
No, I'll fucking admit I'm a hypocrite. I say
are
it
a
all the
hypocrite.
time. I'm openly a
I
hypocrite.
couldn't get
I
higher
don't
than
care.
3.5 without any sort of resemblance. to
Well,
a-
that's
to a
weird
build.
though. But Mike, that's
So-
weird though. I looked at your scorecard.
Yeah,
and
because
you got higher
because
than
you
a 5,
realized what
3.
the show actually
I'm a
was. But
hypocrite
before
there.
that, you argued up and down with me. So fuck you.
So
We've got
so
it
I
on
was a
tape.
hypocrite.
Fuck you.
I was a hypocrite then, but that's okay. When I was a hypocrite for your show, but now I'm on John's show. I'm not okay to be a
No,
hypocrite.
because you didn't
Make
give me
up your
over a
mind.
3.5 until there was
I'm
some
the victim
resemblance
here.
of a fucking build. So fuck you.
I don't even remember what it was for.
Because,
And I regret it.
because Seinfeld and what's his name?
No, I think I
had-
gave that one. That was not the 4 I gave you.
that was a build. There was a story to that.
I don't think
Anyways,
that was the
doesn't
one I
matter.
gave
Doesn't
you.
matter. Doesn't matter. There was no story. There again, yeah, like he said, there. I didn't care about anybody who won anything because there was nothing to make me care about it. It's like having the finals of a tournament while skipping everything else. Like there was nothing there for me. I obviously haven't been watching weekly, so I don't know where these people are. There was no one I felt like there was nobody that stuck out to me that made them feel important. So I don't care who won. The only thing I care is Bo Farrak lost and he got fired, but that's not enough. I'm gonna go with a 1.1.
All right. Let's go to the next one. 4 weeks ago, a vignette begins with a crowded city. It's a hectic scene. People are screaming at one another. Police sirens are going off in the distance. Skirmishes are being broken up, and the air is filled with smog. You hear slow steps as the other sounds mute, and in slow motion appears the silhouette of Megan Bayne in a shadow. Suddenly, the commotion stops, the people disperse, and the air clears. Megan is finally shown on the screen and says, "I'm doing God's work," before the scene ends. The next week's vignette airs from a small village. The people are having a normal day, taking care of crops and livestock, spending time with their families. Children are playing outside with their friends. A woman inside one of the houses gets out a golden statuette of a calf. After this, the noise gets quieter. The animals and people disperse, and you hear the slow footsteps again as Megan Bayne's shadow approaches. She says, "God's work isn't always pretty," and then walks away from the village that is burning in the background. The next week's vignette shows an obnoxiously large throne next to a more normal sized one to its right. The slow footsteps begin again. Megan walks behind the big throne, then sits in the smaller one. She says, "God, Father, Almighty, Messiah, Lord," the big man upstairs. You call out to him when you're desperate, only using his name in vain or when you need something. You think he cares about your petty issues? He doesn't have time to dabble in your treacherous life. That's what I'm here for, to handle his light work. He doesn't care about making you happy. He only cares about making you holy and exalted. I'm here to make you miserable, to beat you down until you submit. I'm the Archangel, Megan Bayne, and my crusade starts next week. It shows Megan Bayne debuts next week on the screen before you see static and it cuts to a red screen. On that screen, a close-up of Stephanie Vaquer appears and she says, "Sometimes the devil on your shoulder is right. Trust your judgment," before the static cuts off. On the final week before Ball In, Megan Bayne makes her first grand entrance, a big white spotlight in a dark room, extras dressed in angelic garb fanning her, and a slow saunter to the ring through smoke. Billy Kay is awaiting her in the ring. Megan Bayne makes quick work of Billy Kay despite a hope spot dropkick from the second rope. Megan Bayne finishes with Fate's Descent, which is a reverse F5, but before pinning her, she hits the Stephanie Vaquer Devil's Kiss on Billy Kay. She gets her hand raised in victory, but then the ring goes red. Stephanie Vaquer comes out, and Megan Bayne gets a mic and says, "I care not engage with your theatrics any longer. You are an influence of sin and evil. I was sent to BBW to rid it of filth like you."
Wait, 1 second, 1 second. So she finished her with the devil's kiss?
Yeah, so Megan Bayne hit her finisher, like the reverse F5, and then she like did the devil's kiss as like kind of like a mockery, and then like pinned her to finish the match.
Okay.
Where am I at? Rid it of filth like you. There we go. Your options are either to stand down or stand no longer. Stephanie Vaquer enters the ring. snatches the mic, the crown. Oh, excuse me, snatches the mic and lets the crowd cheer and says, "First, you sound ridiculous. Second, the wings, the white clothes, the crown, and the throne don't make you good. You are the evil, and any god you work for is also evil. You do nothing but lie to these people. At Ball In, you fall from grace." They stare down in the middle of the ring until Megan goes for a cheap boot, with Vaquer dodging and chasing her out of the ring. Both ready to make their pay-per-view debuts at Ball In. So for the attires, Stephanie is wearing an all-red attire with none of the usual black accents, so it's like straight red. Megan wears an all-gold outfit with glittery halo and wings for the entrance. And there's my dog. That's great.
Yeah, George, he's cooking.
He said, "Get that devil shit out of here."
Sorry, Eddie.
The devil is not welcome here.
He said, "Not my Jesus."
George, you trying to get your attention? Does he want some
All right.
food? That's
The
what
match
he
begins
does.
with a slow approach, and Bayne challenges for a test of strength, gets the better of Vaquer, and then boots her down. Megan Bayne takes early control of the match, overhead tossing Vaquer into a corner, and then hitting a stinger splash on her into a butterfly suplex. Vaquer rolls to the apron, while Megan Bayne picks her up and hits an apron gourd buster on her. So Bayne goes to the outside of the ring and lambasts and yells at a fan in the front row, shoving him by the face. And then Vaquer climbs up to the top rope and hits a corkscrew moonsault off the top rope to the outside. Vaquer then follows up, hitting a hammerlock DDT onto the floor. Bayne runs into the ring, and when Vaquer tries to follow and slide in the ring, she elbow drops her down, follows up with 2 chain falcon arrows, a pin attempt, and a close 2. Vaquer tries getting up, but Bayne hits her with the deadlift German suplex. Vaquer then catches the leg, surprises her with the dragon screw, and then a figure 4, making Bayne scurry to a rope. That was typed funny, sorry. Vaquer hits a side kick, then locks in a Vaquer special octopus hold. Bayne is able to lift her onto her back, and then back them into a corner. Bayne sets her up for a superplex, but Vaquer gets ahead of it and hits a Frankensteiner off the top rope. Vaquer goes for a spinning back elbow, but gets reversed into a blue thunderbomb for a pin attempt and a 2. Megan Bayne hits a Liger bomb backbreaker, then attempts another pin. Vaquer kicks out again. Vaquer tries to lock in a crossface, but Bayne powers her up off the mat and takes them both over the top rope to the outside. Vaquer runs into the ring and then hits a drop kick through the bottom rope to the outside. Stephanie Vaquer hits a slingshot tornillo to the outside, knocking Bayne into the announce table. They are both knocked down for the majority of the 10 count. The count gets to 9. Stephanie Vaquer tries to hop up to the apron to make count, but Bayne catches her mid-jump and backdrops her into the announce table, knocking and counting them both out for a no contest. And they both continue swinging at each other until security breaks it up.
That's the end. That's it.
Wait, so
Yes.
it ends in a no contest?
Yeah, double count out, and they still fighting each other.
Okay, I'll go first. I'll say this: I really, really like this. I like the setup you did for this, but there are a couple things I did not like. I'll let you know this right now. I really loved Megan Bayne's the way you introduced her. It was fire. My big problem is with Stephanie Vaquer. I don't like her debuting also. I feel like with this story, you should have had Megan Bayne debuting, Stephanie Vaquer already established, so that way it's kind of like Megan Bayne's doing her shtick about, you know, God this, God that, and she's like, well, God isn't always. It kind of throwing her face at that, but we already know how she is, and she's doing that, and it's like, okay, so now we got something there. But it's when you have 2 people debuting, I was gonna say you'd have to have an end in the tie for that to work, because somebody gets screwed over in the debut.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't like. I really wish you didn't have them both debut. I really wish. Because I really, really like this, and I didn't like that. I didn't like the Devil's Kiss as a finisher for the match. I just want to say that too. And I also had an idea too. At one point I thought you were gonna go. They were a tag team. They were just like a contrast in a team, and I was like, okay, this is kind of fire too. So I thought that was a thing too at one point, but then I was like, okay, no, they're gonna feud. I'm gonna give you a 4.25. I really, really enjoyed this. Those were just the things that really I didn't like those things. But I gotta go 4.25. I wish you didn't make them both debut. You would have got a 5 out of me for sure because I really enjoyed this.
All right, bet. I'll still take that.
So I was super close to giving you the 5.5. But Kenny did make a good point about them both debuting. I do agree with what he said. Because you said, like, Megan Bayne's like, you're the problem here, but she just got here too, so how is she the problem? So that is kind of an issue I see. But I love the way you had Megan Bayne debut. And you actually made me care about Megan Bayne. I like the Stephanie stuff. At first, I was iffy on the no contest, but I get why you did it. It actually would be really good because like they're still fucking fighting. It's not like it's over. They're still fucking going at it. Um, I'm gonna give you a 4.95.
Hey, I'll take that.
Everything that was already said, I also didn't like that they both debuted. I'm at 4.75.
Hell yeah. All right, before I start this next match, I need to have the security that was breaking up Megan Bayne and Stephanie Vaquer. So now we're going to be picking up on the New Day split up. So let's move forward. So just for the record, I did this.
Say forward again.
What?
Say forward again.
Forward?
You sounded like you said forward.
Ford.
Forward.
Ford. FOID.
Ford.
But
Park my Ford.
for the weapon,
Boston Harbor.
I started booking their split like years
Wicked.
before the Fed. Fuck them.
So you wanted to break up the black group years before Vince
I'm not
did.
saying I did it better than the Fed, but I'm saying I did it first.
Breaking up black men since 1994.
I've been trying to put down the black man.
John's nobody coming
So,
between the black.
following
men.
last week's heartbreaking betrayal, a recap is shown on the screen before the backstage interviewer Jason Jordan says, "At this time, I will allow Big E to take the floor and talk about last week's events." Big E says, "Thanks, Jason. Kofi, I know you're watching, and I'm going to talk to you directly. I understand being frustrated. I understand wanting a change. I promise you." So I keep losing my place. "But I promise you what you did will not be worth it in the end. You cut off your only support system. You gave your friend a life-altering injury. And you showed everyone that you are a turncoat to be trusted by no one. Kofi, I loved you. You were my brother. But you are disowned from my family, and you will never have a seat at my table again. Kofi Kingston, I hate you." Later that night, the show is interrupted to show Kofi's response on social media. He
I'll
posted
never.
What?
He said, "I'll never forgive you." I was thinking that too. That's why I started laughing. I will never forgive you.
I will never, ever, ever forgive you. Stigma.
I literally was like that same thing.
Kofi
I just did
getting
what
pile
y'all
drove to a cell. So going back, so a video is posted of Kofi Kingston sitting outside. He's wearing a black coat and sitting along the edge of a rooftop. Kofi says, "Big E, I'm not surprised you feel the way that you do. I knew the cost of my independence. I live by the phrase, if you're not growing, you're dying. And we spent years shriveling up and crumbling. Years of my life passed by alongside any opportunity for something better. For everything that I lost, I blame you. You hate me today? I've hated you for a long time. I was mature enough to try again to give you chances. I couldn't hold it in anymore. If I'm a villain, so be it. If everyone hates me, I accept that. I'm a turncoat, I embrace that. Before getting up and walking away, the back of the coat with like a spray paint looking turncoat is written on the back as he walks away. Um,
Is this Kofi Sting or Crow Kofi?
he's just wearing a coat.
Hold
It don't
on.
mean he's
What?
staying. He ain't got
Wait,
face
wait,
paint
wait,
on.
wait. The coat says turncoat?
Yes.
Not Crofi.
Kofi is crazy. Kofi is wild.
The following week on Malice, Kofi Kingston makes his first entrance wearing the same coat and being introduced as Turncoat Kofi Kingston for the first time. He gets a mic and says, 2 weeks ago, I left an abusive relationship. Time after time, I was given more of the same and told it will be different this time. I broke the cycle. Can we get a round of applause for a true survivor? The crowd boos, and he says, I figured so. See, you only care about me at your convenience. But the beautiful truth is that I owe each of you nothing. I owe the New Day nothing. It's about time I practice some self-care and get some gold around my waist. I replaced all you once, and I will gladly do it again. I wear this mark on my back proudly because it represents my boundaries. I am free from your expectations, and I wash my hands of the past. Big E Oh my God.
Fear the
Tell him,
Raven.
George.
Nevermore.
George gets a 0.5, or he gets a $5.
Give me the dog a 0.5 is crazy.
I meant a 5. I keep saying 0.5, but I mean 5.
We really went from turning the other cheek in the last storyline to turning the coat.
Kofi is still crazy. I need
Kofi.
somebody to make that. I need someone to make that in 2K.
2K.
Please,
Kofi.
we need a design of just Kofi Kingston with the Sting face paint doing like like that thing, but it just says SOS.
SOS.
I hit him southbound.
All right.
Sorry.
That theme song is a banger.
Fire.
Where am I?
He was
all right.
getting mad at us.
He pulled out the baseball bat.
So Big E runs out to the ring, and Kofi narrowly escapes a clothesline from Big E and runs away. Big E grabs the mic and says, "You're a damn fool if you think you're going to stab your brothers in the back and walk away in one piece. Kofi Kingston, we're going to fight. You don't have a choice in that matter. It's just a matter of when, where, and how. But we will fight." The next week, Kofi is shown arriving to the arena. Immediately when Kofi gets out of the car, Big E says, "I hope you're ready to fight this week," and walks up to the car. Kofi gets back in the car immediately, and the driver starts to drive away. Big E punches through the back window, but Kofi gets away. Later that night, Big E goes into LeVar Ball's office and says, "You're likely aware of the situation regarding Kofi and I. I need to fight Kofi so he can't avoid the consequences of his actions any longer." LeVar says, "Say less. Next week, Big E versus Kofi Kingston. I love a grudge match," and walks away. On the final Malice before Ball In, Big E makes his entrance to the ring, sporting, the New Day song and gear, while Kofi, with his new theme song, "I Ain't Your Friend" by 3-6 Mafia, plays. The lights go dark, but Kofi doesn't come out. He appears on the screen and says, "You can't just let go, can you? I try to walk away and move on with my life, and you pull me back in? Fine, I'll fight, but not tonight. See, it benefits me none to wrestle you right now. However, I will use you for a pay-per-view win and move closer to my goal of the BBW title. So, old friend, I'll see you at Ball In." The attires, Kofi is wearing like a Navy American Revolution looking ass tights with a red coat to symbolize Benedict Arnold, but with both saying the word turncoat on him. Big E is wearing
Dude
a
did
black
not just dress this man up as a Revolutionary War redcoat.
Hey, we get dramatic over here. Big E is wearing a black on black shiny singlet. So Big E runs at Kofi, but Kofi tries to go to the outside. Big E uh, goes over the reaches over the top rope, grabs Kofi's hair to pull him to the apron, and then drops him back into the ring. Big E gets down on the ground to rain hammer punches on Kofi, but Kofi crawls to the ropes every time. Big E boots Kofi while he leans against the rope, whips him into a corner, and Stinger splashes him into the 10-punch combo. Big E follows this up with a gorilla press slam. Kofi rolls to the apron. When he gets up, Big E goes for the suicide spear. To dodge it, Kofi springs to the top rope and moonsaults onto Big E right as he crashes to the floor. Big E goes back to the apron. Kofi goes back to the apron to hit a boom drop to the floor on Big E. Kofi waits for the countout in ring, but Big E makes it in at 9. Kofi starts stomping on Big E and choking him with his foot. He then locks in an anaconda vice on the floor. The crowd has to clap Big E back into the match. Big E stands him up and clubs him in the back until he lets go. Big E throws Kofi off the ropes and hits him with an E-Train shoulder block before hyping up the crowd. As Kofi bounces up from the mat, Big E picks up Kofi and runs in a circle, carrying around before hitting a sidewalk walk slam. He goes for a pin attempt and gets a 2. Big E lifts Kofi up for the big ending, but Kofi struggles down. Kofi goes for a springboard crossbody, but Big E reverses with a twist into a power slam. Big E looks at Kofi getting up and starts to have an angrier expression on his face. He then grabs him and throws him with a belly-to-belly. Big E becomes more further enraged, and he does it another time, and then another time, and then another time, before the ref steps in and tries to stop him. Big E gets frustrated with the ref and shoves his way past the ref, knocking him onto his back. When the ref falls, Kofi Kingston kicks Big E in the balls and then pats him on the head before hitting him with a Trouble in Paradise, pinning him as the ref gets up. 1, 2, 3.
So wait, it was the belly to belly suplex he did multiple times, right?
Big E did that to Kofi, yep.
And then the ref was like, "That's enough." Like going in to check on Kofi, Big E wouldn't stop. Knocked the ref down by accident. Kofi low blow gets up. Trouble in Paradise. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Okay, so were you watching a lot of Jack Perry when you wrote this?
No, because I do have Jack Perry, but
Because it kind of had scapegoat vibes to it with like the writing the turncoat on the like jacket or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And the like turncoat scapegoat sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm interested on where this is going with Kofi more so than Big E. Like Big E was kind of just there for me.
Yeah.
Where I know we made the jokes about Kofi, but I'm at least somewhat invested in this new character and like what it's where it's headed. So I'm gonna give this a 3.25. The match itself was good. The right person won.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good score for it. I'm about the same, 3.25. I just like he said, I care more about Kofi in this than Big E.
Yeah. That's by design. Like Big E's just like that's kind of why Kofi's turning on him, right? It's because Big E isn't changing, he isn't doing anything new. It's more of the same, and Kofi had enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
He'll never
this.
forgive him.
I like this for the most part. 4.25. I think seems fair.
4.25.
Though I do think that the turncoat thing is dumb. Also, you could have just put the word "turn" on it because it's a coat.
That would have lost you a quarter.
Yeah, that would have been too much of a dad joke for a heel.
Yeah, that would have lost
I'm
you
a
a
dad.
quarter.
You would have gotten a quarter. So fuck you.
Yeah.
I probably would
That's
have
a
made
1
this
quarter
5
gain for a
if
2
it
quarter
was-
loss.
I probably would have made this a 5 if it just said turn.
And that Travis would have definitely given that a 0.5. He might use his 0.
Yeah, he's got other things to use a 0 on. We don't want to give him any more. All right. So, we're going to our women's championship match. After a debut victory at last month's pay-per-view and a Malice victory the previous week, BBW has been buzzing about the arrival of Io Sky. Meanwhile, Dr. Britt Baker and the private practice of Dr. Stevie and Dr. Wagner Jr. have kept foothold of the women's division. For the first week of our build features EO having a backstage interview with Jason Jordan. Jason says, "My guest at this time is being welcomed to the BBW family, EO Sky. EO, you are 2-0, and your victories are high profile. Where do you go from here?" EO says, "I am here in BBW to win gold. Britt Baker, you are my target." Jason continues, "Do you feel like you've earned this match, or is there still work to do?" Before EO can answer, Britt walks up with Dr. Wagner Jr. behind her and says, "I'll answer that question, Jason. No, she has not. I spent the last 3 months putting this division on my back and making all the critics swallow their words while you won 2 matches. I'll tell you this now. Don't waste a few words you know on my name when you can't back it up. Keep your mouth closed. This division is led by learned doctors." Before waving the gloved hand in her face, Dr. Wagner hands her a ringing phone and says, "It's Stevie," and as they walk away. The next week, Britt is back to stage with Dr. Wagner and says, "Have you heard back from Stevie? He hasn't returned any more of my calls." Wagner says, "No, he just shot me a text saying that he had to deal with a client and he will need some time. Just trust that he'll be back." You see a hand knock Britt's phone out of her hand and it flies across the room. Britt and Wagner shoot up into the face of EO, and EO says, "Get off your phone and watch my match tonight." She gets in Wagner's face too and says, "You don't scare me," before saying, "Fake doctors," to the both of them. That night, EO faces Gigi Dolin and beats her in a dominant 7 minutes, showing more aggression and variety in her ground offense. More stiff strikes and a vertebreaker stood out to the commentary team. Before the next week, Britt posts a video of her saying, "EO, I watched your match last week, and my opinion is about the same. You're a very good wrestler, but you lack people skills. Honestly, the match was over halfway through. You chose to put your opponent's career in jeopardy and keep assaulting her? How dare you? Learned doctors don't behave like this. We are dignified sportsmen, not savages. So here's my challenge to you. Use your words, find a partner, and face Wagner and I. If you win, you'll have a title match at Ball In. If you can't do that, then you're just not the type of person who should be representing this company." Later that night, EO arrives in style to start off Malice that week, and Jason Jordan is trying to get the scoop. He asked her, EO, I know we both saw Britt's wager for tonight. Did you find a partner?" And EO says, and this is in Japanese, I translate it, "Watashi naha takasao no basho ni takusan no tomodachi gi imasu," which translates
We just
to,
got canceled.
I was about to say with no egg rolls.
now he just got canceled.
I thought you said Tamagotchi in there. I don't know.
No, it's
Is
Tomodachi.
it Shishimi? What did you say?
Get these racists
That movie
out here.
3. Toyota.
Hey, mine was at least close.
And this translates to, and the subtitles are shown on the screen to, "I have many friends in many places." And walks
I
away.
don't think that's the lyric.
Entrances are made later that night, and it seems EO has no partner until the music of the Stone Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii hits. The tag match takes place, and EO and Ishii win a competitive physical match, with EO pinning Britt, confirming the match at Ball In. On the final episode of Malice before Ball In, EO and Britt are advertised to be face-to-face in the ring. Later that night, they make their entrances, and Britt speaks first, saying, "I'll start off by saying congratulations. You did pin me last week. However, that's gonna remain the peak for you, girlie. You overcame the odds of your dreadful personality and made a single friend. But without Ishii to carry you, you stood no chance. I'd say you could chase the trios titles after you lose, but when Stevie comes back, we're taking those too. Soak in this moment, EO, because this is the best it gets. You will lose this match, you will slip down the card, you'll be here for catering, and you will get fired. Do you understand me?" Io then snatches the mic. Bonks Wagner, excuse me, ducks a punch from Britt and then double legs her down. She's raining punches on her until Wagner pulls her off and hits a Wagner driver on Io. Britt then locks in the lockjaw while telling the hard can to zoom in and get ready to do it again on Sunday. The attires Britt and Wagner come out wearing all white with glittery lab coats. Io is wearing silver glittery gear with yellow fur accents. So Britt Baker walks up to Io, starts jacking her jaw, and then one arm shoves her by the head. Io responds with a right hook, then suicide dives at Wagner outside the ring and runs back in. Io then runs off the ropes and does a 4-spin tilt-a-whirl head scissors before taunting to the crowd. Britt crawls her way up and uses her momentum to chop block Io behind her leg. She then hits a lightning spiral, which is hooking the leg and swinging her body backwards. Britt follows up, holding control with cravat kicks to the face, followed by a kneecap brainbuster. Io crawls to a corner, but immediately gets hit with a running face wash kick. Britt then pulls her up into a twisting underhook slam. Britt slaps Io on the head, but she hops up and hits a drop salt to shift the momentum. As Britt gets up, Io runs off the ropes and hits a rider kick, which is a somersault kick to the back of the head, and then rolls Britt's leg into a single leg crab. Britt crawls to the rope and then to the outside of the ring. And then Io hops over to the apron and hits an acai moonsault to both Baker and Wagner. As Britt gets rolled into the ring, Io hits a running shooting star into a pin attempt for a close 2 count. Io steps through the ropes, assumedly to climb to the top, but Britt runs over and curb stomps her. 1, 2, the ref catches her with her feet on the ropes and Wagner holding her foot. The ref then throws Wagner out of the match. As Britt is complaining to the ref, Io grips suplex to Io, and then a bridging German suplex. 1, 2, Britt barely kicks out. Britt goes for a ripcord clothesline, but Io gets a grip, hooks the arms, and hits the vertebraker. She then goes up to the top rope, hypes up the crowd, and hits her finishing moonsault, pinning Britt 1, 2, 3 to become the new BBW Women's World Champion.
Do you want to go first, Kenny?
I can go first. This one, I don't know. This one, it kind of sucks because this one, this was kind of mid to me. I didn't really care about this one like I care about at least the last two that you did. So I'm just gonna go with the solid 3. Like I said, it really didn't do much for me. It was just like, okay. It just felt like that match just had to happen because we need another match for. This is your co-main event, right?
I have 2 more matches.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking it was the co-main event, but yeah, it just felt like we just had to get this match, and it really felt like a filler match to me. But yeah, I'm at a solid 3.
Oh, you just give it a 3. Yeah, it like I care a little bit, but like Io just got there, and I get why you had her win and everything, and I get why private practice are being dickheads and stuff, and that's like their character because they're being doctors as opposed to just Io being, I guess Io, and not being a doctor. I'm gonna give it a 3. I think 3 is fair.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go with 3. It was
Honestly,
pretty
I don't think
mid.
anybody caught it, but I was like trying to like sneak Brit into sound like subtly like racist with the commentary, so that
Yeah,
like those
I
didn't
got
land
it when
anymore.
she said, yeah. So when she's like, use your words or like
Yeah.
the words you can't understand and stuff, I picked up on it.
Okay, so now we're gonna go into a 4-way Falls Count Anywhere match for the Next Up Championship. Um, so 4 weeks ago, in the fallout of the Davaris losing their jobs to win Iron Sheik the unified BBW Next Up Championship, Alex Zane posted, "The Davaris losing their jobs isn't enough for me. I'm going to make Sheik miserable in the best way I know how," with a devil emoji. Uh, that same week, Iron Sheik goes out to the ring with masked security guards and says, "Last week, I defeated Alex Zane and showed I'm better and I'm smarter. Tonight, I show it again. Last week, right after a wrestlers union was announced, Arya and Sean Davari were wrongfully terminated for participating in a match of no disqualifications. While I take that up with Mr. Ali, I give you great news, as the Davaris have been hired by me, you dumb bitches, as they unmask. Um, and he says, Alex Zane, I wash my hands of you, as me and my new private security team seek new matchups. Anyone in the back, man enough, can come challenge me for my title. Challenge me, you beep. And he starts like cussing at the crowd until Shane Mercer comes out, flexes, and walks towards the ring. Uh, and Sheik says, Whoa, 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 whoa. I said challenge me, you idiot. We're not wrestling right now. However, you can wrestle me next week, as him and the Davaris walk out of the ring and leave through the crowd. The next week, Iron Sheik versus Shane Mercer for the next up title takes place. They're competing about 3 minutes into the match until Alex Zane appears in the hard cam side of the crowd with a mic saying, I know everyone here has got to be bored watching these two dorks wrestle. To solve that problem, I've bought everyone in this audience free Baja Blast at concessions, but only if you go right now. The entire hard cam side clears. Sheik sees them clear and climbs over the barricade to chase after Zayn. Mercer runs after Sheik to prevent a count-out loss. The cameras on TV are following Zayn into the crazy crowd in the concession stand. Instead of showing the match on TV, the bell is rung for a count-out draw, and both men are upset, throwing things around the ring as Alex Zane is living it up with the crowd surfing, giving everybody free Baja Blast.
I'm assuming they're in a bottle or a can.
Yeah.
I hope you're not fountain drinking that. That's going to be a mess.
Hey, it gets messy when you party. Uh, so the next week on Malice, Killian Dane cuts a backstage promo challenging Sheik in the open challenge, saying, Last week, Sheiki laid out an open challenge. Unfortunately for Shane and Sheik, they're both weak-minded and left the ring to chase after a distraction. There is nothing a runt like Alex Zane could do to stop me from getting my first gold in BBW. I'm stronger than Sheik, hell of a lot smarter than Shane Mercer, and Alex Zane, you can try one of your little attention-seeking pranks, but you'll regret it for the rest of your life. I'm an evil son of a bitch, Alex. Ask yourself if it's worth it before you interfere tonight.
Who is that again?
Killian Dane.
Okay.
Right before that match takes place, the Davaris and Dane meet face to face, but before they go out to the ring, Shane Mercer walks by them and says, If this match has a winner, you got about a week to enjoy it. And then the match takes place, and Dane controls the match, but distractions from the Davaris keep Dane from securing the victory. Dane leaves the ring to chase after the Davaris, but unbeknownst to Dane, a hand reaches out from under the ring and trips Arya. Dane then back sentons him on the floor and throws Sean Davari into the barricade and gets back into the ring. As Dane is entering, the hand appears on the other side of the ring. As Sheik runs at Dane, the hand throws a banana peel into the ring, and Sheik slips and falls. The crowd laughs as the ref picks up the banana, looking dumbfounded, and Killian Dane is pleading with the ref not to end the match and throw it out. But he calls for the bell, and they both lose by DQ. Sheik and Dane are both irate and tried crawling under the ring to get Zayn. When they go under, Zayn crawls out a different side with a black box in hand. He opens it to reveal a skunk that he releases under the ring with Dane and Sheik. When Sheik and Dane crawl out, holding back tears and vomit from being sprayed. Zayn is walking backwards up the ramp, laughing at them, but he runs into the brick wall that is Shane Mercer. Shane Mercer then ripcord clotheslines him twice, then slingshots him at the backdrop. He picks Alex Zane up, and Alabama slams him onto the stage, standing tall over him. On the final week before Ball In, Iron Sheik comes out to the ring and tries to talk, but every time the crowd chants, "This guy stinks! This guy stinks!" And Sheik finally yells, "I do not stink! I use the finest soap that this world has to offer. Now, if you'll let me speak, I am here to announce that after 2 successful title defenses, I am ending my open challenge. I am a true fighting champion and a locker room leader, but there are 2 things I must address: Ball In and Alex Zane. I will not be giving Alex Zane a title match, but this Sunday, I will give Alex Zane an ass beating so bad that his Bell shits come out the front. Before he can continue, General Manager LeVar Ball comes out and says, Sheik, I got a lot of bad news for you. First, neither one of those defenses were successful. You lost both matches, unlike me, because I never lost. Second, you don't make the matches around here. Third, I do. And fourth, don't think I forgot about you destroying my office last month. Where am I at? There I am. Sunday, Ball In. You will face Shane Mercer, Killian Dane, and Alex Zane. And falls count anywhere. Now look behind you, Sheik. And when he turns around, the Daivaris and Sheik turn around to see Shane Mercer and Killian Dane. They knock down the Daivaris, and then the 3 start swinging at one another. That is until Alex Zane slowly saunters through the curtain. All 3 look up, and they start running towards the stage at Zane. As they get close, Zane runs backwards and pulls a small string, and when the string is pulled, they all fall into a trap door below. Zane then hypes up the crowd as he hits the crunch wrap onto all 3 of them, which is a shooting star press knee drop, into the group before quickly climbing out and stage diving into the crowd, hyping up fans for the big match. The attires: Shane Mercer's wearing blue bike shorts with silver chains. Killian Dane's wearing black trunks with the red belt fringe. Alex Zane's wearing yellow tights with yellow, red, and orange sauce packet designs. And Sheik is wearing purple trunks with the white pointy boots. As soon as the bell rings, all 3 goes chasing after Zane. Zane jumps over the barricade and kicks backwards, kicking it back into them. Mercer follows after Zane, while Killian and Sheik fight at ringside. Killian goes for a running crossbody, but Sheik throws a chair at him to stop it. Zane turns around to fight by attempting a step-up enziguri in the crowd towards the exit side. Mercer catches him by the legs and big swings him through the exit and into the arena hallway. Mercer lifts Zane up and hits a Diablo driver, a spinning power slam on Zane through a merch table for a pin attempt and a 2 count. Mercer drags Zane back towards the ring, but is met by Killian Dane, who hits him with a pump kick. Dane then clears out a section of chairs and front suplexes Shane Mercer onto them. He then hits a back senton onto Mercer in the chairs. Zane starts crawling towards the exit, but Sheik comes barreling towards him, smashing his head on every concession stand, putting a popcorn bucket on his head, pouring fountain beer on him, and smashing his face with ice cream cones. Mercer walks towards the barricade to get back to ringside, and Dane hits him with a Belfast Blitz cannonball into the barricade. Sheik keeps up the assault on Zane as they go in a bathroom. Sheik tries to spear Zane through the stall door, but Zane moves out of the way, and Sheik falls and is kneeling over a toilet. Zane hits a running 450 onto his back and then gives Sheik a swirly in the toilet. The camera comes back to Dane and Mercer fighting at ringside. Dane tries to do a running crossbody from the main announce table. Mercer catches him and hits a moonsault fall-away slam through the table. Zane reappears from behind commentary with a ladder. He sets it up and climbs as Dane and Mercer get up. He hits a cinnamon twist spiral tap from the top of the ladder and then goes for a pin on Killian Dane. 1, 2, the Daivaris appear and kick out the pin. They pick Zane off the ground and they hit a doomsday device from the apron to the floor. Sheik runs over to ringside and it's a running splash on the knocked out Mercer before pinning him. 1, 2, 3.
So, John, we were rooting for you. We were rooting for you, damn it.
Yeah.
I hated all the Zayn stuff. Like the banana peel, I hated that. That pissed me off that you had a match end by DQ via banana peel. The toilet thing, I guess that's a thing. The shoving ice creams in his face, didn't love that either.
Yeah.
Like I get what you're doing with Sheik, like him swearing and just going being wild. That fits the character. I remember last time we told you with Zeke or not with Zeke with Sheik to be more wild. I guess is the word to use. And I think you're halfway there. You're halfway there to getting that Sheiky essence. It's hard, but I feel like you're like at least halfway there. And I get why you had Sheik win. I feel like we're gonna get more Sheik and Zayn stuff. Unfortunately, I'm gonna give this a 2. I did not love this. This would be like one of those things where I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm check playing the game on my phone."
Yeah, I gotta agree 100% with Damone. I didn't like any of this. I think I'm gonna be the hater on this one. I'm going with the 1.25.
Yeah, I don't think much more needs to be said. I'll go with a 2.
All
Damn,
right,
I feel
let's
bad.
let's go to main event.
Yeah, the banana pill thing pissed me off.
It was just like it was the swirly, all that stuff. I was like, what?
Y'all say you like comedy wrestling, but y'all fake.
We're waiting for the comedy.
I knew it was coming.
Anyways, 4 weeks ago on Malice, following Brian Cage and Simon Dean crashing Ali's championship celebration and union announcement, Brian Cage and Simon Dean drop a new commercial, with Simon saying, "This month only, you can get the Future Champion Supplement Package from Simon System Incorporated. Just like the BBW Championship, you'll go from a skinny, weak, whiny, pathetic dork to a strong, ripped, stoic, and rugged machine. This offer lasts until Ball In, when this future champion becomes champion, and then you can get the Eternal Champion Lifetime Supply." It cuts into the fast reading at the end of the commercial and says, "Ali and Ali fans can't afford the Simon system. They're too stupid and poor. Also, Ali is already the worst champion in BBW history." Um, Before the static cuts out. Later that night, Mustafa Ali is stopped by Jason Jordan, and who says, "Last week, before you could celebrate at all, you were interrupted by a challenge of Brian Cage. How do you feel going into that match, and how will you prepare?" Ali says, "I feel like I feel every match. I'm not the biggest, I'm not the strongest, or the most talented guy we have. But at any given moment, on any given night, I could pull out that last stop and show I want it that much more than the other guy. That's how I win. As for preparing, I'm going to wrestle every week this month, and I'm going to put my title on the line for all of them. Brian, Simon, you're invited to come watch." And later that night, he puts up the title against Kip Sabian in the main event. The match is competitive, with Sabian outsmarting Ali in ring, with Penelope Ford cheating a few times, but Ali pulls out the win. Kip looks frustrated, but Ali raises his arm, putting the new talent of the future over. As he's doing that, Brian Cage and Simon Dean clobber them from behind. They throw Kip out of the ring, and Cage hits a drill claw on Ali and stands over him holding the belt. The next week, Ali goes to the ring with a brisk pace to show that he's upset. He gets in the ring and says, "Do you want to sell something? Okay, fine. This week, I'm selling a pay-per-view match. Week after week, I build this place up. I protect the weak. I set up. I stay late. I look after the guys in the back, and I support our young talent." And then this guy, Brian Cage, walks in the back door and tries to cheap shot his way to the top. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to get your ass out here. I'm going to kick it. And then I'm going to wrestle another hardworking young talent. I'm going to show him about true grit. And I'm going to hold this title up high, because that's what a champion does. Brian Cage and Simon Dean wouldn't know shit about that. Um, Brian and Simon come out. Brian in casual clothes, with Simon saying, "Ali, look at yourself. Then look at Brian Cage. This is what a champion looks like. Listen, you work really hard and you're a good hand. But you know, Brian knows, I know, LeVar knows, my mama knows, your mama knows, you're not the guy this company needs to reach the next level. In reality, This Simon System BBW collab is beneficial for all parties. The crowd boos Simon until Ali runs out of the ring. Simon runs down and gets his head super kicked off by Ali. Cage tries to capitalize, but Ali rocks with an uppercut before tornado DDTing him to the floor, kicking off the barricade. Ali starts climbing to the top rope as Cage and Dean run away. That night, he faces Casey Navarro following the commercial break. It's another athletic match with a young star shining, but Casey gets too cocky and taunts too much, opening up the win for Ali. Ali is seen like whispering advice into his ear after the match and raises his hand, um, putting another young guy over. The next week, Ali promotes his personal dream match online for his weekly title defense. He calls it one of the biggest matches of his career and says that it will open this week's Malice. Ali comes out first, then the surprise is revealed to be Sanjay Dutt. They have an incredible 20-minute match where their similarities show, but Ali is a step ahead. Ali gets the 054 for the win. He helps Sanjay up after the match and gets a mic to say, I just want to say, from one Indian Pakistani wrestler to another, you're a fucking hero to me. When I get into the ring, I model my work after yours, and it's an honor to share this ring with you. Thank you, Sanjay. The crowd chants "Thank you, Sanjay" before Brian Cage music cuts in. Um, Ali drops the mic and readies to fight. Cage has the mic and says, "All right, um, Brian Cage gets the mic and says, Ali, this week I wanted to talk to you myself. I don't think you get me at all. He gets in the ring and cockily, condescendingly waves off Sanjay Dutt. He says, see, I'm not just my body. As much as I want to look the best, I also take pride in my work inside the ring. The way you looked up to Sanjay is the way I look up to Chris Canyon. Who better? I want to tear the house down every match, just like you do. But that's where our similarities end. Ali, you've done a lot for yourself despite not having the gifts I have. I respect you, and it's a damn shame what I will do to you in 2 weeks. Mustafa, this isn't a fair matchup. I nearly double your weight. I tower over you face to face, and most importantly, I lost all my empathy a long time ago. I'm not going to care what I do to you or how these fans react. I'd say I'm sorry, but I'm truly not. Enjoy your last 2 weeks, kid. As he starts to walk away, Ali yells at him, don't you dare talk down to me and walk away. You're as dumb as you look if you think I'm scared of you. You're out here talking like you're Thanos, King Kong, and God himself combined, but the last time I checked, your accomplishments don't match your ego. You talk like this match is a foregone conclusion, when you've never been the face of any company, you've never had a meaningful title win, and you've never made any fans give a damn about you. So yeah, 300 pounds of muscle, that's great. What's it gotten you? I'm half your size, but you haven't had half my career. 2 weeks from now, I bring you down to size, and I show you how I earned this spot. You should be scared of me. And angrily raises the title in his face. Cage condescendingly pats Ali on the back and leaves the ring. On the final week before Ball In, Ali teases that he has a special opponent chosen for his last title defense. He says that opponent will be surprised to find out at the opening of the show. Ali comes out that night and gets a mic to say, when I chose my opponent tonight, I wasn't looking at wins and losses or dream matches. I was looking around at who wanted it the most. I found someone who would give anything or anyone to see the top of the mountain. Come on out, Simon Dean. Simon comes out alone, with a chipper expression and no apprehension, and runs to the ring. The bell rings, and Dean starts talking and swings at Ali. Ali uses the arm for an immediate takedown into a Koji clutch and makes Simon Dean tap out in a squash match. He gets the mic again and says, Brian Cage, hopefully you're making your way out here because I want you to see something. Cage walks out slowly as Ali continues and points down at Simon. This man so clearly does not give a damn about you. He ran out here smiling like Christmas morning to try and take your spot. None of this has been about you. My hope for Sunday is that you leave this clown behind and we can settle our differences man to man. In 6 days' time, you'll see what it takes to carry a company and move this industry forward. And you just don't have it. You don't have the heart. You don't have the grit. You don't have the leadership, and most importantly, you don't have the balls to stand up to your boss. The crowd owes a Cage chuckles and says, Ali, I just want to give you one piece of advice before Sunday. He pauses. Simon is screaming from ringside, knock his goddamn head off! Hit him! Take him out! And Cage ignores Simon Dean and continues, you always have the option to not kick out. I know you and the pride that you hold, but when the beating gets to a point where you're using your last win to keep fighting, you can just keep your shoulder down and the suffering will end. I don't want to make you, your family, or these fans suffer any extra. So do the smart thing on Sunday. He starts to condescendingly pat Ali's back again, but Ali slaps him hard across the face. Cage smiles. Simon Dean is still screaming at ringside, and Cage walks away from both of them, showing no emotion. Um, Going into the attires, Cage comes out wearing navy tights with gray designs, matching Simon Dean's tracksuit. Ali comes out wearing blue and yellow tights and vest with green lights and accents. Um, so the bell rings. Ali and Cage step out of their corners, slowly building the big fight feel. Before any exchange, Cage surprises Ali out of his corner with a tornado claw discus lariat, turning Ali inside out. Um, Cage traps Ali's arms as he lifts him up from the ground into a swinging, twisting, butterfly swinging neck breaker. Ali crawls over to the corner. Cage running knee strikes immediately. Spinning thrust takes him and monkey flips him. He taunts with his arms out as Ali crawls to the other corner, but Cage stops him on the ground, stepping and holding his weight on Ali's hand. He then choke tosses him across the ring into the corner. Ali tries using the rope to pull himself up. He hops up to the second rope before he can attempt to move. Cage chops his back, pulls his head down, and super kicks him from underneath. He then gets him in powerbomb position, runs him across the ring, and buckle bombs him. Simon Dean is yelling at Cage to pin him, but Cage grabs the rope to show Ali is within range and dismisses Dean. Ali rolls to the apron, but Cage climbs to the second rope and deadlifts superplexes Ali to the middle of the ring. He attempts to pin, but Ali kicks out at two. Cage then locks in a master lock, flailing Ali around. When the ref does the arm drop, Ali shows enough life to keep the match going. Cage gets angry and does a full Nelson slam, swinging in black hole style with his arm still hooked. Cage then traps Ali in a torture rack above his head, and when Ali doesn't quit, Cage swings him around his back into an Argentine neckbreaker. Cage then follows with a lion's hold, an attempt, and Ali kicking out at two. From the ground, Cage lifts Ali up into the world's strongest slam position before curling him like a weight three times and hitting him with a fallaway slam. Ali crawls over to the ropes and is leading on the second, and Cage hits the ropes and connects with an 818, which is a 619, and then hits a tope atomico and attempts to pin. When Cage kicks out at two, Ocho Cinco says on commentary, this is about where I'd take Cage's advice. Kicking out is only making this worse. Joey Styles says, I love the extreme, but at some point it becomes a safety issue to watch a man get beat like this, unable to fight back. Um, Cage then grabs Ali by the arm, growing frustrated and hits a hip toss into a backbreaker, then a Death Valley driver. He attempts another pin and another two count. Cage's frustration grows as the crowd starts chanting for Ali. Um, Cage starts twisting Ali's legs for a Texas cloverleaf, but Ali quickly holds onto a rope. Cage pulls him up by his legs and hits a spit out Alabama slam. He goes for a pin. One, two. Cage lifts Ali's arm up before he can. The crowd boos and Joey Styles yells, just end the damn match, you jackass. Um, Cage then hoists Ali up for his finisher, the drill claw, which is a Michinoku brainbuster. He goes for one, two. Ali kicks out again, and Cage's face turns red with frustration. Simon Dean jumps on the apron and starts yelling at Cage, you didn't give that your all. Now get your ass up and do it again. Um, Cage stops and grabs Simon Dean and Uranagis him onto the apron and then down to the floor. Cage lifts Ali again and hits another drill claw. The crowd drops. The room goes silent. Joey Styles is saying, please let this be over. This has gone too far. He hooks the leg. One, two, and Ali kicks out again. Um, Cage lifts Ali over his back with a gory special, showing he's busting out his lesser used but more dangerous finisher, Weapon X, which is a gory special flatliner. He connects. Ali's out flat. One, two. Ali gets his foot up on the rope. Uh, Cage yells at Ali, "I won't stop until you learn. Give up and go home to your family. Because now I'm just showing off." Cage climbs to the top rope and hits Ali's signature 450 splash. He covers. One, two. Ali kicks out and the crowd cheers, showing signs of life. Um, After failing to win with a 450, Cage taunts the crowd, hitting Ali's hand up pose like this, and then he climbs with his back towards Ali, showing he's thinking of hitting the 054. But when Cage reaches the top rope, Ali hops up and drop kicks Cage off the top rope, getting his first offense of the match. Cage flies to the outside of the ring and hits his face on the barricade. Um, Ali follows Cage to the outside. He runs and hits a hesitation drop kick, knocking Cage into the barricade. Um, he follows up by jumping up to the barricade and hitting a tornado DDT on Cage onto the floor. Um, Cage gets up from the DDT and stumbles his way to the apron. Ali pushes him in the ring. He hops through the ropes and hits a rolling X Factor. Uh, it's seeming like Ali can steal the victory. He climbs up to the top rope and connects with the 054 and the 123 to retain the title. Um, After the match, when the lights go out, the screen plays a cryptic grayscale video with a flowing river, broken glass, a flaming bus, a cage lowering, a guillotine, a cross, and a golden belt reading PPW before the word scapegoat appears on the screen and the lights come back on, leaving Ali dumbfounded as he struggles to get up. Ocho Cinco on commentary says, "What in the hell does that mean?" And Joey Styles' signature tone changes and drops as he says, "I know exactly what this means," as the show ends.
So you got a turncoat and a scapegoat.
Yeah, I knew it was
So I like the story significantly better. I like the Simon System stuff. I like you teasing the Brian Cage doesn't want to be controlled essentially even by Simon. And for that reason, the wrong man won. I feel like you had him beat the ever living piss out of Ali. Ali got like 5 moves in and won the match, which kind of makes Brian Cage look weak. Even if Ali won by count out or like something, I feel like that would have I feel like Ali shouldn't have won this match. I think Brian Cage you could have done more with. I feel like Ali, yeah, he's the baby face, like overcoming the odds, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes the odds are too much. Sometimes the guy's just better, bigger, stronger, faster, just better than you. And I feel like you could have had Ali lose here and then start building him back up and had Brian Cage at the end, like show 5 or later on, and he overcomes him later on. But obviously you can't do that now. He just beat him clean. Or if you're gonna have Ali win, have it be because something Dean accidentally screws Cage or something, or messes it up for Cage. I'm gonna give this a 3.75. The match itself was good overall. And I enjoyed that you did a story in the match. Actually, I'm gonna give you a 3.85 for that because I did enjoy the story you told and everything. I just don't think you quite stuck the landing.
I enjoyed it. I liked the story. Liked the match. The wrong guy did win. I'm going 4.85.
Okay. I'm at the same score Damone gave the first time. I was at a 3.75. I did enjoy this a lot better than a lot of those other storylines. I think there were a couple lines you said that were kind of cringy, I will say, but all in all, it was pretty good though. I'll let you know now. I know Travis is gonna hate on you a little bit. He doesn't like cussing in the promo, so just warning you. You know how he is. But yeah,
Especially from a baby face. He's never gonna hate you for that. The baby face swearing. The openly religious baby face swearing.
Hey, we on our AEW shit here,
yeah,
where the word shit pops the crowd.
but yeah, like I said, I'm at a 3.75. This is one of your better stories for sure. I think this is up there with the Stephanie Vaquer and what's her name, Megan Bayne. It's really good.
Thank you.
I don't necessarily know how to feel about Jack Perry stuff, but I'm not gonna punish you for that yet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
There's
that
plenty
didn't
of time
affect your
for
score.
that.
That didn't affect your score to me. That was just like, okay, I feel like this is the next part of it. That's just all I took from that. Just the next part of it.
Yeah.
But the I do agree with him when the wrong man won. I do agree
I
with that.
don't know if anybody's gonna catch kind of what's happening like in the grander scheme, like connecting the beginning of the show to the end of the show.
Right
Until I
now,
make it a
I'm
bit more
not.
obvious, I guess.
The
You're gonna-
PPW versus BBW, I get what you're going
Yeah.
for.
You're gonna have the turncoat, the scapegoat, the American Dream boat. Like you gonna have,
I don't have the American Dream boat. He got drafted elsewhere. I had to write him off.
The Curry goat.
all that.
Steph Curry gonna show up in a 3-point match.
That's the end of your show.
I mean, he'd be the second NBA player. But yeah, that's the end of my show.
All right, I'm not sticking around for plugs. You can't find me anywhere, anyways. I'm going to bed. Good night.
Bye.
All right.
I'll still sell his stuff for nothing. I'll just give it to you at this point.
Yeah.
Just take it.
Fuck
Take
him.
it. I'll
All
pay
right,
you a penny.
Bad guy, tell us about your 37 shows.
All right, you can catch me on all social medias at Bad Guy Spoken. Catch the Bad Guy Spoken podcast on YouTube, and you can also catch Unbiased. See to get the little you up like this, and you can also catch Hood Movie Review. Review all your favorite and not so favorite hood movies, and you can also catch Not a Real Court. No, you can't. And you can also catch Geek in the motherfucking sheets. We talk all things anime, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, vampires, werewolves, all that shit. Whatever you like, we talk about it. If it's nerdy, of course.
AVN Awards.
Yeah, we did one episode off the rails real quick. But yeah.
And D-Money, where can we find you?
You can find me on everything not owned by Elon Musk, because fuck that guy, at DumbMoney213. So it's DAMONEYT13. Also, John, obviously this isn't official because we still got to get Travis and Joe's. And Joe's a wild card. So is Travis. Travis could love a bunch of this stuff and also hate a bunch of this stuff. And I feel like it's gonna be opposite with those two. I feel like the things that Travis hates, Joe's gonna love, and the stuff that Travis loves, Joe's gonna hate. But right now you're at 3.07.
Nice. I'm at least not as bad as Joe's show.
No, you were not.
I should still end my life, but you know.
No, you shouldn't.
It's not as bad.
Wait till after the book of verse. Like I want to hear the rest of it. Then go ahead and do that. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, that's been an episode of Book It. See ya.
Bye.